I searched everywhere. I looked through hundreds of files, searched through my text messages. I even looked everywhere in my wardrobe, but I just couldn't find where I asked for your opinion.
Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of Dear Qadriyyah Safiyyah, where I scour the internet and I look for situations so I can offer my unsolicited opinion. This is from Dear Amy, and we're going to take a break from Dear Amy after this, but I just read the title and I could already tell this is definitely something I want to address. Okay? Oh my goodness. Hold on. That piece is stuck in my earring. Y'all can't even see these earrings because of these headphones. Okay, here we go. Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? Dear Qadriyyah Safiyyah, she didn't tell me our phone call wasn't private until I said something regrettable. I can already tell you right now it's not going to be good. Dear Qadriyyah Safiyyah, my sister, brother, and I are all in our early 60s. My question is about cell phone etiquette. I agree. I 100% agree, okay? Because the etiquette has got to be established, has got to be maintained, okay? Today, my sister called me from her car, which is the topic of a whole other subject. That is people who can't be bothered to talk to you from home, but only from their car. First of all, is it bothered? Is it bothered? Because I know when I'm at home, I'm typically doing things. I know that when I'm at home, it is not the best time for me to give you my undivided attention because whatever's happening in my home is getting my undivided attention. I don't know if people can't be bothered. I think I know that when I am en route somewhere and I know that it's going to take me about 15, 20 minutes, I do make phone calls. Because I know that I can accomplish the goal of listening to the person if they need to be listened to, or I can be listened to because I don't have any other distractions because, I'm driving, right? So I don't know where this is going to go because you already feel like people can't be bothered to talk to you from home. You're already in your feelings about that. I mean, is there an established... I don't even know where that comes from. Like, because people can't be bothered to talk to you in their home, only from their cars. She probably got things going on at home. My goodness. Maybe someone in her home doesn't like you. And so it's easier for her to talk to you without that person around, right? Or maybe you all have such in-depth, deep conversations that it just takes too much of her attention away from what's going on in the house. I don't know if it can't be bothered. I don't agree with that statement, okay? During our phone call discussion, I mentioned something extremely personal about myself. And I was horrified when my sister announced that someone else was in the car with her. That's a violation. That's a violation on your sister's end. Listen, that is, first of all, this is how it needs to go every time, okay? She's in the car driving. Bring, bring, bring. No, nobody's. Maybe people do have a nostalgic bring, bring for their cell phone, but bring, bring. Oh, it's my brother. Answers the phone, right? It's on speaker. Great afternoon. This is Qadriyyah. I'm in the car. You're on speaker. Someone else is in the car. Right off that. Like immediately when you answer the phone. I know I need that. I know when I call my sisters, I absolutely need them to make the announcement that I am on speaker and that there are other people around. I know that. I literally received a call yesterday, okay? And the person called me and asked me if I wanted some food from the food pantry. And I'm in transition between places right now, and my response was, hell no. I don't want no damn food from the food pantry. I don't want it, right? And like right after I said that, he's like, you're on speaker. Well, you a fool, sir. Because you have known me long enough to know that A, don't have Qadriyyah on speaker, without letting her know, okay? And B, really just don't have Qadriyyah on speaker without letting her know. And C, right, especially at the masjid, for me, hell no was, the most tame response that was gonna be had, because it could have went so much further, so much deeper than hell nah. Okay, so I can't feel bad about that, because you have known me long enough to know I'm not the person you call on speaker and not announce it. Bring, 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 bring. Hey, Qadriyyah, you're on speaker. Do you want, I'm in front of the masjid. Do you want something from the food pantry from the masjid? Okay? And then I could be like, nah, I don't really feel like carrying food around with me while I'm going from, one place to another. But thank you for thinking of me. Thank you. Okay? So that's where she messed up. She announced it immediately, right? Then she apologized to that person, not me, for having to hear this. I had a similar experience when my brother called me, and after a few minutes, his wife chimed in on something we were discussing. Which made me realize that we were on speakerphone and our call was not private. You got a family of violators. You have a family of violators. A family of violators. I definitely would not have appreciated that. We in the middle of a discussion, and then someone just starts chiming in. What is happening on this phone call? Am I on speaker? Like, how many other people are hearing me? What is going on? I don't like it. I don't like it. When did a sense of intimacy and privacy in phone calls go out the door? Agreed. Agreed, sir. Or ma'am. I don't know. We haven't established gender here, so I got to get out of the habit of assuming gender. I apologize. Is it due to the ease of using a cell phone or on speaker? I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if that's the case. Are we all to just assume that any cell phone discussion is likely to be on speakerphone in the presence and hearing of others? Qadriyyah Safiyyah, can you issue a PSA about this? Sign overheard. I agree. Well, first of all, I'm going to tell you that I ask from now on. And I think you should ask from now on. I think you should definitely, because I have, and I do think your sister does owe you an apology for not letting you know that you were on speaker and somebody else was in the vehicle. I do. Because she doesn't know what you, first of all, I 100% agree with you, and I think it does need to be addressed in your family, because your brother and your sister are doing it, and they both wilding out. But I would start asking every time I call. Hey, am I on speaker? Like, before I even start talking about, it could be randomness, right? It could be nothing that is problematic for anybody, but I would literally start establishing, am I on speaker? And I would ask them, right? Not casually, right? I would actually call them with, this is a topic of discussion, Marge. Hey, Marge, I'm calling. Hey, Marge, am I on speaker? No, you're not on speaker, Jimmy. Okay. Well, I would like to establish that when I call you or you call me, if you have me on speaker, to let me know at the beginning of the phone call, in the greeting of the phone call, in the salutations of the phone call, in the receiving of the phone call. I would like it if you could let me know immediately that I am on speakerphone. And And if she agrees to it, wonderful. If not, then I would make the habit. I would make the habit even if she doesn't agree, because sometimes people get, need to get used to a new habit. Although at 60, I think it's wild that they don't follow proper phone etiquette, to be honest with you. I think at 60, it's wild to me that these people know. They know before cell phones even existed, that this was the proper etiquette, right? Because there is an assumption of privacy when I call you. There is an assumption of privacy. Don't assume anymore. Never assume, not with your siblings, not with other people. Every time you call, am I on speaker? Am I on speaker? Do you have me? Are you in the car? Oh, it sounds like you're in the car. Am I on speaker? Are you by yourself? Like, what is the established privacy in this phone call right now? And I do think it's important, because you never know where phone calls go. You don't know what people are going to say. You don't know what's going to happen. So you might be calling somebody for directions, and they may have some other things that they need to talk to you about, and they get into those things, and now, the driving instructor knows about, your ED problems. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not okay. It's not okay. And I definitely, I said it already, I definitely agree. And that's what I suggest. I suggest that you establish the speakerphone announcement at the beginning of the call, and that you ask whomever you are talking to. If you calling about a job interview, oh, it's great to, thank you for calling me about this job. Am I on speakerphone? Is this call private? Are there other people on this call? Right? So, and I think that's reasonable. I think that's just more than reasonable. And I think she does owe you an apology. And if you don't get it, you gotta move past that. You gotta move past that. Because I don't know. What did you say? Oh, I mentioned something extremely personal about myself. Violation. I actually had to cut off a dear friend because of that. True story. True story. I was telling her, and we had already talked about this, about my personal business, because I am a person that there's a lot of things that I think are people's personal business, right? And I have my own personal business, and I was talking to her because I had already talked to her about not telling people my personal business. So we were talking, and she was in the car, and I was on speaker. And she let me know I was on speaker. But she didn't tell me there was anybody else in the vehicle with her. So I am having one of the most private conversations I can have with a person. I was emotionally vulnerable. I was reflecting on my life. I was talking about my medical situation with her. And there was literally someone else in the car right there the whole time. And she never even said anything. Well, she said something to me so far into the conversation that I'm like trying to remember what I had said in the conversation, and I was hurt. I was hurt because I had already talked to her about it, and it was definitely a 3 strikes, you're out type of situation, because I feel like after the first time I address it, the second time I address it, the third time, you just don't care. And I do care. I do care. I do care that I felt like you were a safe space for me. And the feeling of being violated in that safe space is hard to come back from. It's hard to come back from. So, yeah, this is definitely a public service announcement. When you receive a call from somebody and they're on speaker and other people are around, announce it immediately when you pick up the phone. Oh, hey, Jane, you on speaker, and Tim, Rakeem, and, I don't know why I need to have 3 people in this fake scenario, but Tim and Rakeem are here, right? Right. Right off it, just so we already know. Okay? Thank you for this question. Overheard. Was it overheard? Yep, thank you for this question, overheard. Much success to us all.